although he had seen many geniuses till now, he had never seen someone like. A small, bruised and beaten boy sits against a wall late at night when a man with blonde hair and boxing gloves walks by. The man stops and gives the boy some encouragement before telling him to meet him at the top. In a boxing gym, the director speaks with a renowned boxing trainer named Kei about a young boy who was sparring effortlessly in the ring. Kei asks the director to bring the strongest boxer in the gym to spar with the boy, named Ryu. When called to the ring, Steel is shocked to see Kei and begins sparring with Ryu. Ryu demonstrates his advanced fighting abilities by avoiding Steel's punches and landing his own, but Steel takes advantage of Ryu's lack of boxing experience to corner him and knock him down. The gym director asks Kei for his opinion of what he saw, and Kei confirms that Ryu has the potential to become a champion boxer. Kei is then distracted by a commotion outside and sees a dead-eyed boy who is about to be struck. Watching in fascination as the boy down below took the punch, Kei said he was going down there. As the boxing gym director disciplines the bullies, Kei asks the boy why he didn't dodge their punches, but he merely replies that he couldn't be bothered to. As the boy walks off silently, Kei decides to trust his instinct and calls out to the kid while throwing a devastating punch at him. The boy casually dodges the blow and Kei, having seen what he needed to, asks the kid if he wanted to learn boxing. The boy merely asks in response if hitting people was fun. Noting that the kid didn't have the desire for superiority as everyone else, Kei confidently tells him that of course hitting people is fun because it was human nature, and fighting to be the best was what being alive was really about. At that, Kei shows him the simple 1-2 combo before telling the boy he had a month to come and see him in the gym. At school, as the boy sat silently by himself, the bullies were chilling with Ryu as he used Injay as a seat. As they discussed about meeting some girls, Ryu told them he had to go to boxing gym. As one of them wondered why Ryu even needed to go to a boxing gym, another said matter-of-factly that there were always bigger things for people like Ryu before finishing that one day Ryu would become world champion. At school, the bullies slapped the black-haired kid for getting them in trouble before whisking Injay off to have lunch with them. As they all had cup noodles, they forced Injay to eat up his, which had a bug, phlegmy spit and a lollipop in it. In PE, the boys are playing football while Injay and the black-haired kid, named Yu, sit out. Injay asks Yu why he wasn't playing despite being good at sports, but he replies that it bored him. Agreeing, Injay then asks if there was anything Yu wanted to become, and the latter briefly remembers K's words before dismissing it. Returning the question, Injay mentions that he wants to become like his dad. With Yu looking on, Injay then invites him over to play a new game he'd just bought. Seeing the two chatting, Ryu vindictively kicks the ball at Injay, but Yu indifferently catches it in midair. Infuriated, Ryu comes over and violently slaps the utterly apathetic Yu before vehemently threatening him. When school ends, Injay heads off home and so does Yu. At home, Injay is practicing his boxing moves while musing that he couldn't let other people get involved in his fight. Affirming that he had to be brave while remembering that he had told Yu he wanted to be his friend, he suddenly remembers Ryu's threatening aura and dejectedly calls himself a loser. In the evening, Injay is concerned about how he will deal with Ryu, who is much stronger than him. When his father, a professional boxer, comes home, Injay asks him for advice on fighting opponents who are stronger. His father tells him to do his best and never give up, even if he gets knocked down. He explains that true courage is admirable in both boxers and non-boxers. Injay is grateful for this advice and goes to bed. Meanwhile, despite school having finished hours ago, Yu is finally getting home where Ryu was waiting for him. Yu walks past, completely ignoring Ryu, eliciting Ryu to kick him down and try to intimidate him. With Yu saying nothing, an irritated Ryu slams his head into the ground and tells him to say something. With Yu still not responding, Ryu sardonically threatens him before spitting on him and walking off. Yu merely sits up and looks on. Infuriated by Yu's lack of response to his intimidation, Ryu is suddenly accosted by a random student wondering if he was strong or not. Delighted, Ryu immediately knocks him out before beating up the guy's friends. While torturing the last one, Ryu relishes the fear and pained reactions that he had become accustomed to seeing. At night, Injay lies awake in bed. Ryu looks at the bodies of the students he has beaten, and Yu sits silently with his sleeping cat in his lap and a dead 1,000-yard stare in his eyes. As he gets ready to be confronted, Injay is left surprised when they walk straight past him, leaving him alone. Confused, he notices that Yu was late. In the PE equipment room, the bullies are roughing up a utterly apathetic-looking and emotionless Yu, with Ryu observing and commenting while seated. Just then, Injay bursts in and tells them it was enough, stunning them for a moment. With Injay's nerves visibly showing by his shaking, he steels himself and takes on a boxing stance, with Ryu grinning ecstatically and Yu's gazing on. Injay calms himself while remembering the moves his dad had taught him, while one of the bullies strode confidently towards him before striking the bully with a solid 1-2, stunning the latter and drawing blood. With the tables turned, Injay growing in confidence and the bully now quaking, Ryu suddenly steps up and mockingly notes that Injay had learned some boxing. Leaning in, Ryu derisively challenges Injay to see what he is made of. Injay attempts to attack Ryu, but Ryu easily evades every strike and mockingly tells Injay how he should attack. Ryu then punches Injay in the nose and taunts him as he becomes still. Injay tries to punch Ryu, but Ryu dodges and counters with a punch that knocks off Injay's glasses and knocks him to his knees. Injay realizes the clear difference between them and stands up with a new game plan and determination after thinking about his father. Ryu is pleased by Injay's spirit and after putting one arm behind his back he declares that it is time for round 2. Ryu punches Injay in the face and Injay focuses on protecting his face from Ryu's subsequent blows. However, Ryu punches Injay in the stomach, causing him to curl up and protect himself from Ryu's onslaught of punches. Injay waits for an opportunity to counter, but Ryu easily dodges his uppercut and punches Injay with a devastating overhand left. Injay recalls his dad's boxing record and his respect for the type of person his dad is. Elsewhere, Injay's dad wishes him luck. With Injay laying floored on the ground with his head swimming after being clocked with such a heavy punch, Ryu kneels down and mockingly speaks what Injay had been thinking before, telling him it was all very obvious. Refusing to stay down, Injay returned to his feet again and desperately swung for Ryu, but the latter utterly toyed with him, hitting him repeatedly until Injay was on his knees again. Satisfied, Ryu walks away telling Injay that he wouldn't bother him anymore. However, remembering his dad's definition of a true boxer, Injay got back to his feet again and called out to Ryu telling him they weren't done yet. With the other bullies, and Yu watching Injay, a visibly irked Ryu turns back around and instantly smashes him in the face with a brutal strike, dimming the lights in Injay's eyes. Dropping Injay to the ground, Ryu begins repeatedly punching him in the face, heatedly telling Injay that he would die if he kept acting smart, and rambling that he would never be as strong as him no matter how hard he tried. Struggling to talk, Injay reveals he knew he couldn't win, shocking Ryu into pausing, explaining that he had already achieved his goal and couldn't care less about tedious things like being the strongest, all before declaring that he will become a boxer. Absolutely infuriated, Ryu begins mercilessly wailing on Injay's face, screaming if he still thought it was tedious. Suddenly, from behind them all, Yu asks no one in particular if it was fun hitting people. Flashing back to shortly after K had encountered and tested Yu for the first time, the boxing gym director asked him if he knew who Yu was. Thinking deeply, K asked the gym director what he thought about instincts. Confused, K went on to explain the gut feeling he got every time he met an athlete that he would go on to train, adding that he felt the same thing from Ryu Beekson. However, he revealed that when he met Yu he felt something unfamiliar instead, he felt blood-curdling fear. In the present, the pissed-off bully who got punched by Injay strides towards Yu. However, Yu, recalling the move that K had showed him back when they met, comes into a boxing stance and knocks the bully out with a ridiculously fast 1-2, absolutely shocking everyone watching. Spurred into action, another bully attacks but Yu swiftly knocks him out with the same 1-2 combo. Seeing this, the third bully runs away in fear while Ryu looked at him in disbelief. In the flashback, K told the gym director that he couldn't stop trembling when he saw Yu, adding that it seemed like Yu had been waiting for the punch to land at the time. With the gym director making a skeptical response, K affirmed his words before bringing the gym director to the shocking confirmation, Yu had indeed been able to easily avoid his definite kill punch. With K explaining the seemingly superhuman capabilities that Yu possessed, he told the gym director that although he had seen many geniuses till now, he had never seen someone like Yu. In short, Yu wasn't a genius, but a monster that surpassed the capabilities of humans. In the present, Ryu gets to his feet and stares Yu down, feeling a strange tension in the process. Thank you for watching. Please like the video for part 2, comment your favorite part so far and what you think of the story, and subscribe for more content like this.